big hello and a very warm welcome to first of its kind, something that we're trying out. It's called the ET Brand Equity igNight. Now I'm going to get right into it. I promise it's going to be a hot and sizzling debate because we have two of the best minds in the media ecosystem, both great debaters. So gentlemen, please make this hot, candid and to the point. The motion on the table tonight is reach is the only metric that matters. Everything else is vanity. Now, in an age obsessed with clicks, engagement, attribution, attention scores, sentiment analysis, and dashboards dense enough to launch rockets, we ask a simpler question. Are marketers overcomplicating effectiveness? Does fame still beat precision? Or is reach merely the first step in a far more complex consumer journey? Arguing for the motion is the suave and very eloquent Vikram Sakhuja, Pakara Barakya Azria. Arguing against the motion is the very plain speaker and says it how it is Shashi Sinha, the strategic advisor to Omnicom Media India. Now, each speaker will be allowed to make an opening statement, followed by rebuttals, moderated cross-questioning, rapid fire, and closing remarks. And for the rules, no interruptions during opening statements. This is not an Arnab Goswami show. Direct rebuttals only, and evidence is greater than jargon, and brevity will be rewarded. Everything is going by timing. So for the opening statement, I'm going to give each for and against the motion 4 minutes. I'm going to start with you, Vikram, 4 minutes, and your time starts now. Time up.
38 years back in PNG, when I entered there, I learned that putting an ad in front of the consumer is all that matters, and don't worry about the environment in which the ad takes place. I used to say, my gut says that we should be taking heavy prime time, and we should be doing critic, and we should be doing newspaper ads and outdoor. And every time I'd be told, if you get a gut feel, take a lens. Now the point of there was, you have to get more and more consumers to see your ad, so your awareness builds, you try this, and then on that outlet trial, circle goes up. It ended up quantity versus quality rate then. But now fast forward to now. The motion before the house today is that in today's environment, where you have TV, CPV, outdoor, digital out-of-home, print, radio, streaming, the entire digital gamut, whether it is Facebook posts or Visa or the entire bit, you got so much of it where you have to up. Does this premise of reach is one of the eminence in sand, or do we have to now factor for things like retention, engagement, credibility, things like that? I am going to argue the importance of reach is still paramount. My first point, which to my mind will go there, is that brands grow by getting more customers. Simple, right? You get more customers, that's how you grow. Not by getting your existing ones to pay more attention. And for that, you need to maximize the unduplicated reach in a very, very flapped environment where you have to get reach across several touch points now. But you have to get your reach there, and that's where your awareness is going to come, and that's how your client is going to come. You're putting constraints for interest, context, attention. All of these puts artificial filters on your prospective buyers and adds to the cost. To put this point through this, today I use keep the thing simple, learn from Tashi. Use what is called as house test. Try telling your wife, and my wife is nothing to million most people know my wife, and really she very, very painstaking. So if I tell her my solution for these, what would I tell? I would tell her, I need to ensure that everyone who might buy a product should see my ad and what the brand does. And she's smart for the go for sword. That's what this is. Makes sense? Now, if Shashi, when I speak for Shashi now, if yesterday email something, what we tell for attention? Would you be telling her, I need to optimize for a high dwell-time environment and let it neural mapping to ensure there are emotional storytelling, price, thick, right response, and emotional changes due to the lead-forward pace of the consumer check. Which one makes more sense? I'll leave that to you guys to give out. Now, the second point for us to sort of understand is, you don't teach your baby to run before it can walk. You might talk fancy things like passion, engagement, trust, credibility, but do you know how to measure them? And more importantly, right now, the foundational building block out here is you have to build at least his kind of reach. You have to have a way by which you can calculate reach across all the various touch points. Do that first and then start mind about connection, not before that. And the last one, maybe allow that. The last point is, yes, and center of advertising works. There are 3 jobs to be done. One is attention, one is building mental availability of mental structures, and the third one is all about response, timely response. The largest part of our ADX is all about getting people to repeat and come back and buy the business and buy the product. And that's the point. A small mention of Pebble World ka jor hai tutega nahi. You just give this stimulus, and the entire brand will cut into their minds. You don't need attention to make this point. You can put it the smallest places. You can just do a little bit of trigger, and that trigger completely stores the whole breakup memories, and that's how marketing works. So that's what I said, 3 points. Brands go by gaining more customers, don't by making existing ones pay more attention. This solves biggest barrier, which is anonymity. You will get go buyers with 1 million artworks impressions, and you will get with 10,000 and then deeply considered ones. In today's media environment, the most critical job for us marketers is to find a way to calculate unduplicated reach across all the base touch points to even weigh and calculate attack reputation. A large majority of addicts constitutes established brands where goal of advertising is to remind the consumer about the brand and build memory structures. In these cases, effective communication doesn't need attention, keep the figure wins. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikram. Thank you. Over time, but I'll let that pass. Let's see how you do, Shashi, and you're willing to take him on. Your 4 minutes start now.
Thank you, Sunavati. For a lovely opening, and I put a hustle better. 38 years in comping, Madison Media. I started at PNB all about reach. Absolutely, 30 and back it made sense. Why did reach make sense? Because that in the good day, they had enough distribution. The one program, however, you got to 70% viewership. It's very easy to do. It's all paid great. This night, Kabdukar City, she got distributed as she was. She is not bothered about reach. She will be so ran, she pay only people reach her. TikTok. There's absolutely unmarried. Be there, he will give her distributed to my property about it. And they are. That's one part. The second part, it's all very good to say that fragmentation, habit, fragmentation, there is all if you know about today's time, what is a consequence of fragmentation, but was a fragmentation, what was happening is attention deficit. Is it you on your television, or no also else watching digital watching Syria. What did you know? It's a reach. There is no such thing as reach because it's passive reach. Passive reach is like 90 to the room. Engagement is a handshake. Who do I go and treat? Who do I talk to? Who are so cute today? I see you acknowledge that. It's all about that. So the other thing is, it's good to say reach, but reach how you measure. Today, there is no measurement in the bike tree which measures reach across my media, but television itself, between what's happening on the television, the data comes only one. Suddenly, we're occupied to really data. There's no audio being or DBS, audio being said, viewable. Viewable across area. So it's easy to say, give it on these reach or not reach. And this is the era of finally, reach is independent. Like what do marketers want? Marketers want outcomes. Outcomes is what it's all about. Outcomes is today and making is doing with precision, with personalization, you can do a rock no. You twist the econ. The epitome of first in the kid cup that become work, but the epitome and last channel that I take in Sandigo, where did they start? For 38 years back, it is already for Mahabharata. Today, what do? 30% nutrition, and one econ, maybe getting auto, subordinate influencer, maybe some television there. So the world has moved on, very back it about, but that's the race going. And I will go because we are an opinion go. So I will take a sign there. Look at Valerie, it's not a great show. The new video campaign, what is it about? Validity and soft editors, it was not about the speech. We guess you're probably the largest supporter of it first. Go way to measure whether or the my purpose is a letter edition. But what did you do in your campaign? You didn't talk about these. You want me to of that practically. What did you say? It's about attention. The 1 hour away from Western Armies. Attention. And what did you talk about? Trust. Comparativity we trust. So the lecture is changing. It's not only each, it's set up more. I will certain back to the debate. We will support and it will support trust. How do you measure? This is tribute. That's what right for such it can SOU. So that we have 4 nights today.
Wow, Shashi, you have deferred time. That's amazing. That's amazing. But now for the rebuttal. And this again, my timer friend is 4 minutes each. I'm going to start the moderator rebuttal round with for the motion with Vikram Sakhuja. Again, Vikram, no speeches allowed. Ideally, all answers should be compressed. So questions for the motion. First question, if reach alone matter, why do so many mass campaigns fail?
Sorry.
Is reach alone matter? Why do so many mass campaigns fail?
There's a neither here nor there question. The mass campaigns, so once you're referring to failing, would have failed because the creative was bad, the concept was bad. It doesn't mean that getting the message out there was the one which the messenger. You shouldn't kill the messenger if other things are wrong. So first is a very general secret. I don't know what we mean mass campaigns going back. Let me flip that by taking Fair and Lovely was the first brand in country to reach 1,000 crores and midnight keys. The safe cover. They are targeted to win. Because they did anything better to do, they couldn't have the option, they did not key. What did you find? Because of the spillage, 40% of the consumers came from myth. Now, if you had done it using today with sharp targeting and all those other fancy things, you would have lost 40% of your audience if you had a bigger implement. That is a mass campaign that worked.
Give me one mass campaign that has worked today.
If I had to look at
RCB.
sorry?
RCB.
RCP. Okay, now what are you thinking of? So I think right now, I think Amphi does well. It's a mass campaign. They go for niche as well. I think Policy Bazaar is actually a very good example to give. And not taking FMCGs. FMCGs will be speaking my story all the time. I've taken 2 financial products. Both of them believe that, and they believe in performance. But they also believe that you need to spend a good 50% of your money on actually giving reach and getting a message out there to more and more people. So I think this would be 2 good examples.
Would you rather have 50 million indifferent viewers or 5 million buyers?
I'd rather have 5 million buyers, but I'd more likely to get them from 50 million half-interested people than if I go to 1 million very, very interested people.
Are you romanticizing the era of television dominance?
No, not though. Like TV and Prey for that matter are definitely options. Look, we are living in a world where multimedia is a reality. All of us consume all kinds of media, and to get the reach, you have to go to core media. So it's just, you definitely need a YouTube, you need a Geo Hotstar, you need a Meta, you need a Instagram, you need Facebook, and you also need TP and print. So you need all of that. But the ability to craft unduplicated reach across all is there so less.
Isn't attention too fragmented for pure scaling to work?
Look, attention, I think, if we obsess so much about the text, firstly, attention is not very precise. So if you want to go and say, what is attention? Look, it gets very coupled. I give an analogy for escape. If you say somebody's listening, there could be various stages of listening. Ignoring, hearing, something's happening. Then there's listening, and then there's listening with intent and listening with empathy. These are various stages of listening. But same thing with attention. There is something which is just subliminal, happening in the background, and something gets triggered inside very unconsciously. That's how 80-90% of iPhone works. So if I see in a message, I'm doing a thing about it, but somewhere there, when I need to use it, it will suddenly come up on its own. That's how bhakti works. You don't need anybody to actually come back and say, oh, I saw this is what they're trying to tell me, now I must do something. The entire journey is much more complicated than that.
Okay, and with that, we're time up. Okay, questions against the motion. Please reset the timer. First question to you for questions against the motion. Is marketing become so obsessed with efficiency that it's forgotten faith?
Not at all. I don't think the personalization or
Mic is off.
I don't think. Hello. Yeah. I don't think efficiency is what I really do with personalization. I mean the fact that your card is more effective. The whole focus on outcomes. And in fact, the reach is an intermediate metric. It's not about what the outcome is. You have many CMOs asking questions, listen, what is reach, but I'm not in the results. So exact the other way around, outcomes lead to outcomes, and you will get outcomes. So I don't think there's a nice job all it is.
Can brand performance market themselves into cultural relevance?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're personalizing something, don't necessarily performance. It's a loaded question. Data and personalization don't need performance output. Could be about telling you sorry. Do finally enjoy the results of persuasion and personally do a storytelling. But storytelling is happens is just that it's not happy to a large piece. As I said, our piece are person people three. You're limited choices. So there's no connection between persuasion and
Have dashboards replaced instinct?
not necessarily. So dashboards, yes, dashboards the beast were there, but it's not about instant about the way that people can see backpedal. Something is saying, I'm very useful. Today the dropcode data, therefore, because they suck of many of brands, that they were legacy brands, we are built to criteria on that brands. So there were your key brands, every idea, everything. Today they we kept software any circuits. To release some kind of performance, what's happening recall. Finally, outcomes are there on the platform. So I do keep a sorry.
Why do the world's biggest brands still spend massively on broad reach media?
Absolutely. So I have an example, I was in London. They spend so much in broadcast media.
No, not broadcast, broad reach media.
That's it, broadcast media. They're spending on broadcast media, but the fact is so no one is saying that you don't need reach. But you need calibrated reach, you need verified reach. So what does Aman do? Aman spends, even today, bulk of it, they're not on digital. They do their own social media. But 50% of the spend, that's a lot. 50% of the spend for a $1 lakh company is on what we call calibrated reach or what we call quality reach. So they do football, they do field anomalies, and currently they're not on reach, but they're also getting engagement. They also complete the do window. So what happens if a consumer comes back, they reach out to them, they reach out to them through they talk that there's a before no kill away. They stop that, they don't pay reachable amount, but they're calibrated reach first.
Shashi, your plain speak required for this one. Are marketers confusing measurability with effectiveness?
Measurability, firstly, measurability this country on mass media that way possible. Would trigger when we are part with every measurability in country places at it is next to possible. Well, later the look at this one there. After signing later we don't know. So therefore, marketers look at outcomes as a surrogate. There's nothing wrong in that. If I go and say I give you 50%, B%, it doesn't even work. There's no way of measuring that. It's all like I said. So I will say this in word like this, but there's no way you can do it. It's not. So the only way you can do is say, listen, I will do better what it may for me. When you what opens is all.
Okay, on that note, now we're getting into a crossfire segment, right? Each one of you is allowed to ask 2 questions to each other. I'm going to start with for the motion. Vikram, you can ask him 2 questions. Shashi, you have 45 seconds to answer every question. Every question that is posed to you. And if you're rambling, then I had granted myself the permission to cut you off. Yeah.
Okay, my first question to Shashi, it's not a hypothetical question, it's a real question. If you have to devote your energy in driving one of these 2 initiatives, what do you want? You can't do both. Which one will you go after? Will you go after industry's capability to measure cross-media reach, or to be able to measure attention across different platforms?
Yes, absolutely. I would go after the industry data as we are, after the capability to measure cross-media reach. And not only cross-media reach, within the region itself measure reach. But that does not mean, therefore, I'm endorsing the reach first. Because you difficult to measure. You or I know, that's impossible to do that.
I think I got the answer because it just shows what is more important. I should reach therefore is more important. My second question. In your experience, and again, head on heart, because I think then it's gotta be around, we all recommend Pokemon from time to time, on what works better for you. What do you think works better for brands? Taking their entire year's budget and putting it on one IPL, or taking that same budget and one IPL and that's it, gone for the full year. Or else, put it across the year, get each and screw maybe instead of 8 weeks of advertising, 30 weeks of advertising.
No, but one is different. Neither of it. So I have never seen a time where we put money and we could say that could last 5 years, not only 30 years back. So we will put money across multiple platforms, not just the media. So it could be television or actually as you said, or it could be e-com, it could be influencer, it could be many separate. I mean,
Because you have money and there are some brands and don't you have so much money, where would you go?
that's when I would go about it fun. So if you have that example, I want to show you, I make money. We do the e-com for them and it's entirely on the website and we do whatever it takes to get the consumer on the website. And then must be on that.
Your chance, Shashi. 2 questions that you can take off.
Same question, interestingly, he asked me, I'm asking about the O2C world, that if you're looking at measurement, right, what's your sense on getting media measurement, not only cross media, but measurement for the students on it? How would you get? Do you think it's possible you're lucky back in there?
So, it's not talking the reach question, it's not part of the debate test. So firstly,
Here you said it. Was finally asking me a question.
okay. If I have to summarize it, for me, the best measurement that you're doing is you need cross-media reach to find out the basic input-output. You need all the fancy models that Google and Meta give out to you to see what's working, because that tech really works well. But you also need market-based modeling and incrementality testing to see how the inter-attribution works. So it's a little bit of a complicated answer, but you need all these to measure the full funnel.
That's the answer. Don't you think it will be easier to measure outcomes rather than taking a software process?
If you look at outcomes, then you're letting outcomes decide, okay, there I think the problem with outcomes the way it's in measure today is you're only picking up those people who are already in market and you're not getting people who are outside the market. For my mind, marketing was always about creating demand, not fulfilling demand which is already in market. Unfortunate part about today's outcome models is we only fulfill the demand just in market. We're interested, it's that.
No CEOs just want to that. Highly CEOs want that. That's what the money is.
If you want to grow, like if tomorrow we are to become a $5 trillion economy, 2/3 of that will be coming from domestic consumption. It will only come if there is more trial and category adoption, and that will only happen if trial increases and if trial will increase, if reach increases.
What about you?
No. I'm going to ask you one question quickly. Name one iconic brand built purely on engagement metrics.
Purely on engagement metrics, I think some of the legal brands
Oh,
work.
you got to name one brand. Whoever. Shashi?
What did I?
Ooh, okay.
Alright. 45. 45.
Also, name one enduring mass brand built without reach.
Which sorry?
What metric would you eliminate tomorrow?
Sorry?
What metric would you eliminate tomorrow?
Definitely likes it as a metric.
Definitely
Likes.
likes.
Yeah, I was saying. Once I read up.
Is this a debate about consensus or a forum?
Like,
Which metric is the industry lying to itself about? Okay. Which metric is the industry lying to itself about?
Line was it thought. Oh.
AEs.
Oh, wow. I think I'd still go back and say the line teacher could resemble about reach, because today the bulk of the money is going, which is in the digital platforms. You are not holding them to the same level of accountability and transparency that you were TV at it.
So I say 80-50 because the quality of the kit could be to the dramatic profile improvement, which is why they got to read revisited.
But I would say the digital ratings is the area that the particular line is the most.
Now, hopefully, all of you are charged enough because the voting is going to be done by how loud you are for either Vikram or Shashi. So, with your voices, please hooray if you think Vikram Sakhuja, who was for the motion, is the winner of today's debate. If Shashi Sinha convinced you that reach is not the main backbone, then please hooray for him. I'm very confused. Okay, let's do differently. Can somebody then, I can't see, there's so much of light. By show of hands, is it for the motion?
Yeah, let's be. I think it's great for the moon with us.
Is looking quite confused, so I'm going to end by saying perhaps the real question isn't whether reach is the only metric that matters. It's whether marketing has lost sight of the difference between being seen and being remembered. And on that note, I want to thank both of you. To Charity Karwar, don't you ever fancy the team sports? Coming here and doing this on a Wednesday. We begin on a Wednesday because Randa could come on every Wednesday. Thank you very much, Vikram. Very motivated.
Thank you.